A boo-boo. What's a boo-boo? Do you look at what you... Oh, your poop. I thought he meant, do you look at the toilet paper? You know, you look at the what? What do you look at? I don't. I should though. Mine smells bad all the time though, so it's like too much coffee all the time.
What is going on, beautiful people, and welcome to the only place in the universe that supplies you fuel for your dreams, goals, and entrepreneur ambitions for the free Reality TV. And today, people, we have the universal hit. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. The Chopping It Up segment. Today, we're going to be sitting down with a good friend of mine, Scott Wright, former NASA employee, real estate investor, do it all, man, all that. So I'm really excited for you guys to jump in and see what Scott shared with us. Also, remember guys, hit that subscribe button if you rocking with these interviews. Also, drop comments in the comment section below of what you guys think, what you guys learned, how you guys wanted to reach out to Scott once y'all view this interview and everything like that. But without further ado, we got the interview. Scott Wright, NASA, real estate. Let's go.
Okay, it's Wiz Khalifa, Gucci, Drama, and Mary Jane. Hit a few times, cause I'm 2 times. Gucci 2 times. I'm Mr. Make a Stare, I think we make a tear. Hell, last night was a blur, at least I wore a fur.
What's going on, people? I am with the legend, Scott Wright. What's going on? How's it going, sir? Pleasure. Is freshly here. He's visiting. I gave him a call. He's like, hey, Deontay, I'm leaving in like 3 days. So if you want to talk to me, you better make it snappy because I'm out of here. But what's going on? First and foremost, funny story how me and Scott met. I was starting my whole real estate journey. Went to a title company. Just meeting those folks, and Scott was there, so I got introduced to Scott. It's like, hey, come downstairs and give me your phone number and let's do some work together. And that was like 2 years ago. Yep. Been even beyond like real estate, been really good friends beyond that. And Scott is a super interesting person. He won't admit it now, but like he could do everything. He's a mad rocket scientist slash entrepreneur genius.
Well, you're the only person I can send the pictures to that's gonna appreciate him anyway. You get to see the body work on the Jeep and the, you get to see all that stuff. But people are like, how do you have so much time to do that? You know, or where'd you learn that?
For real,
that stuff. So.
For real. And your life is just so much encapsulated in it. It
is. We do what we need to do and want to do. You know, simple.
And I tell him he's the motivation, because like he said, you guys heard earlier, like he travels and his business is on his iPhone. He'll send me screenshots of, hey, look at the deal we just did. While he's like 20,000 feet on a mountain, hiking, finding hound dogs that have been running in the woods and returning them to their owners, who are owned by like the world famous hunters. So
and it's funny that you do that. You're always like, how do you meet these people, man? And these guys are super famous on YouTube. Lost their hunting dogs in the mountain. And it was so cold they came and camped out with us all night with their dogs. So then we actually meet these people and they're like way famous. Taking Ted Nugent hunting and stuff, you know.
Out of nowhere. So that's the kind of stuff that we'll talk about. It's just out of the blue. Just send me a text. He'll be in a cave that's like different atmospheres down there and stuff. It's like
32 miles underground.
See what I'm talking about? So that's my motivation, because like Scott mentioned, he does what he wants and it's no pretty much kind of cable holding you back. So I really wanted to have you on there and just talk about how you got there, that journey. So kind of let's kind of start with going up into NASA, did you think as a kid you would, you know, be working?
Well, I lived in
NASA?
Florida, and watching all the launches and everything, and I always wanted to, because we'd run out in the yard and watch them launch out of our backyard. And yeah, I always wanted to be part of that. And but that was in the back of my mind, you know, when I went to college and went off to the Air Force and everything like that. I didn't know for where I was going to end up, of course. But everything fell in place because the aircraft I worked on had an ejection capsule. When they pulled their ejection handles, the pilots did, the whole capsule would separate from the plane. And it had a rocket motor and a life support system and bilge pumps if they landed in the water and all those parachutes. And so as soon as I got my top secret security clearance, NASA wanted to recruit me.
And you got that from the Air Force at first?
Yes.
Okay. So they pay attention to kind of everything. It's not something, hey, let me submit my application.
Big Brother is watching.
Got you.
All the time. So how they know what you're doing and where you're from and where you're headed before you even know what, you know, so.
So did you kind of expect once you got that classification, oh, I might be hearing from NASA, or just like?
Well, the Air Force had several options, and every one of them took me further and further away from Florida. So like the stealth fighter program was a new program, and that's where they wanted me to go next. And if I went there, I would be living in a secret location 5 days a week, coming home for 3, you know, and then I just didn't want to live like that. So when you get the call from NASA, how is that? Is it mail? Is it like your superiors and come to my, you know, office? How was? No, I initiated that. I put the feelers out to NASA, and NASA looked at me and, you know, and what my expertise was. I was working with cryogenics on that aircraft. It was just a really unique aircraft. It was a fighter and a bomber, and had terrain following radars and all this autopilot, mad autopilot stuff. It delivered the bombs for the guys if they passed out or whatever, you know. And so, high pressure hydraulic systems, and NASA saw that, and they were like, you know, this guy could do anything. He could do life support. He could do cryogenics. I told you he could do anything. I told you. So I ended up servicing satellites and the space shuttle and the Titan rockets, and sitting in the nose cones of all these top secret launch vehicles, and working for Ronald Reagan on Star Wars and all. It just was crazy stuff. You know, and just like you get to see a lot and think a lot.
Got you. Now, when you're going into it, like, what is the progression? Like, I could say like a normal job. Let's say we're in a sales job. Okay, we're doing the grunt work at first. We're on the sales floor. Then we might move up to a desk job, kind of manage a few people. What is that like inner workings when you first get to NASA to when you know?
So it's whenever you're involved with the military or the government, it seems to me like the more energy you put out there, the goals that you set for yourself are all attainable. It's all up to you how far you go. And so I was always looking for opportunities, and I went up really fast through the ranks and became a foreman.
So you had people under you while you were there. What would you say kind of was your favorite thing you did through your entire career? Because how many years were you there? About 12 to 15 years?
Total
at
16,
NASA? 16? So
with the Air Force time included, 16.
Right. So what was your favorite thing, you know, being in NASA, you know, outside looking in, I hear NASA, I'm like, that's pretty legit. You know what I'm saying? The things you've seen, the things that you've done and worked on, out of all those things you can think of, kind of what was like your personal favorite? Not the biggest thing, but you're like, dang, I was really fulfilled. Like,
there's too many of them.
Oh wow!
But I can't really pick one. But I guess some of the memories are like when everybody's watching TV and the space shuttle's about to launch and something goes wrong. And they stop it seconds away from the launch. So we would be the red crew, and we'd go in and secure the situation, secure the shuttle, make sure the astronauts are all right, try to fix the problem really fast, and get out of there without dying. And that was super exciting. I remember one launch in particular, it counted down and the main engines lit on the space shuttle.
Wow.
And then it stopped seconds, like just seconds away from launching. It cut off. And when we went in there as a red crew, the space shuttle was rocking back and forth like this. And I'm thinking, that's like the biggest bomb on the planet. And I'm about to go up next to this thing, and it's just rocking back and forth. And we were pretty terrified.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as thrilling moments go, that's one of them. And we've had one Atlas rocket blew up, and the payload came down all around us, like rain.
Like you guys were like outside.
It was like Volkswagen parts falling everywhere, and we're just trying to get out of there, and everything's on fire, and it's just like, and that was a bad move. We should have been further away.
Yeah. All right, this segment is called D Up. Okay.
Here we come. It's a man's game now. Put your hands on him and let's play. Put your hands on him and let's play.
Okay. The point of it is for me to put you on the defensive, all right? And I have 10 questions that I'm gonna ask you. I personally want you to get them all wrong, but your job is to try to get them right, okay?
Okay.
So you ready?
Yep.
Okay. The first question, and once again, these questions are pertaining to your industry, whether it's NASA, real estate, or anything like that. So here we go.
You made these questions?
I got them from Google.
Okay.
The first question is, fact or fake, Jupiter's diameter is roughly 7 times that of the Earth.
True. Is that what I do?
It's fake.
I don't know that. I don't know how big Jupiter is. How am I supposed to know that?
Next question. Red dwarf stars make up an estimated 3/4 of all stars found in the Milky Way. Fact or fake?
How many?
They make up 3/4 of all stars found in the Milky Way. Fact or fake?
I don't know. True. Fact.
Oh, got that one right. Next question. Elliptical galaxies are the most common in the universe. Fact or fake?
Elliptical galaxies. That's a fact.
All right. Next. The vehicle assembly building is so big, it has its own weather.
Okay, I worked in that building, and I can tell you right now, it rains in there. There's clouds and everything.
Next question. Bill Nye the Science Guy wanted to be an astronaut, but NASA kept rejecting him. Fact or fake?
Bill Nye. I don't really know the answer to that question. I'm going to say that that's a fact.
Next question. To be officially considered an astronaut by NASA, you must travel more than 100 miles above the Earth's surface. Fact or fake?
To what?
To be officially considered an astronaut by NASA, you must travel more than 100 miles above the Earth's surface. Fact or fake?
I think that's not a fact. That's fake.
Summer is considered the busiest time of year for home buyers and sellers. Fact or fake?
That's a fact. Oh, look. You're not telling me when I hold these up if they're fact or fake.
McDonald's is the world's largest landowner. Fact or fake?
Oh, I don't know that. I mean, how would I know that? I'd say it's a fact. Oh, I'm failing like crazy now that it's not NASA.
Utah gives free homes to the homeless. Fact or fake?
I have no idea. Fact. Yeah.
And last question. The space shuttle never took missions between December and January. Fact or fake?
That's fake. Oh, it's a fact. But
so you're just running for cover?
It's fun to be up close because you feel like you're in a bass drum. You end up your whole body vibrating, you know, wow. Even after the launch. It's just too close.
Dang.
So that was fun stuff. Ronald Reagan stuff was cool. Getting a retina scan to get into work was cool.
So that's legit stuff. That's just
all
not
cool.
sci-fi.
Having armed guards on you all day long watching you. Having to be 2 people, you know, with each other all the time. Whenever there's anything nuclear around, you have to have 2 people. One person leaves, the other person gets shot. Bam, you're dead.
Wow. So it's serious,
like,
yeah.
So you got to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So a normal civilian won't typically get in a situation like that. You know, you have to. Most people have to come through the military
in order to do that.
Yeah, it's not. It's more so now they've got contractors and stuff that they can qualify for that. They go all the way back to elementary school and check with your elementary school teachers. Was he a problem?
Whoa.
Did he show any weirdness?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so, you know, and then that's ultimately what got me into real estate. Is I got tired of being annoyed with the huge amount of time and a huge amount of big brothers watching.
Yeah.
I mean, going to bars and then coming to work and having someone pull you out of work and say, you know, did you go to this bar last night? Well, yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
Did you sit next to a dude with a red beard? And you're like, you know, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think I remember that. You know, that guy was Russian. Did you talk to him? You know, I was like, no. I asked him for a napkin.
Exactly.
You know? And that stuff gets really annoying. It's very invasive, and you don't feel like you have any privacy.
Yeah.
Plus, you're working 18 hours during a launch. I mean, sometimes we never even went home until the thing launched, so it'd be days. And then, and then when I got on the recovery crew, we would get on the airplanes and chase the space shuttle. They have an airplane waiting for us on the runway at Kennedy Space Center. We'd launch, we'd get raced over the runway onto a plane to get in the air while it's in the air.
Wow.
In case it landed in Banjul or Africa or anywhere.
You guys got it.
And then when it didn't, they would drop us off in California. You stay there until it lands.
Wow.
You know, weeks and weeks. And if there's a problem, they can't come down, there's a tile loose or something, it turns into months. Wow. You know, it's like crazy amount of time and no time for yourself.
Yeah.
So now I'm all about that time for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get that time. So
now that was a perfect segue, kind of going through the arc, kind of those thrilling things, because it sounded like you were still passionate about kind of the things you were doing at NASA. Just the big brother thing was just like, I'm done with it. I'm done. So going into real estate, kind of, how did you know to go into that? Did you do that already? Like, how did you know that's what I'm gonna?
I think I told you the story that when I went into the Air Force, I was super young.
Yeah.
But I had already been in college and lived in dorms with guys, and when I got there, they're like, you know, we'll get you a dorm room. And I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
If I could find a place to live before Monday, can I go there? I don't want to be in the dorm.
Yeah.
You know? And they gave me that opportunity to go find my own place, and over that weekend, I managed to convince a seller to seller finance their house for me. And I bought this house, man, and I never spent a day on the base, you know, living there. And then when they moved me to NASA and I sold that house, I realized, you know, in the back of my mind, I made money. Didn't really click yet, but it was there in the back of, you know, I left with money. And then I got here and I tried living in an apartment. I was like, that's bullshit. Who wants to live in an apartment, man? And so I got another house, and then that's when I realized, when I sold that house, that I lived in it over 2 years, there was a huge tax advantage. And I made money again. And I was like, and then when I wanted to leave NASA, because I was just done with it, I took some money and bought a $20,000 house in the really bad neighborhood and everything, because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just going to get out of there. And that house turned into about, over time, $250,000 profit. So I was like,
so then it was like, really, okay, this is
where it's at. This is where it's at.
Now I hear those numbers and it's all romanticized, countless TV shows. When you first started, can you tell us like the real deal? Sure, you got this, you know, house, but what is the work that was put in for you to get into your position now, where pretty much you have deals flying at you?
So it all comes back to the most valuable thing, and that's time. And so to me, time became more valuable than money, more valuable than a career, you know, even cars, everything. At one point, I had fancy cars and everything, and I realized that actually took away from the relaxation and the value of my time. And so that's when I decided, I mean, as this has evolved over the years since 2001, it's become where I don't want to invest much time in even what I'm doing, you know? Because time's that valuable. And I'm getting older now. I'm older than you, and it's like time definitely becomes more valuable over time. And so now I'm like, when the real estate market crashed in Florida.
When did it crash again?
In 06, 08, in that time period, I lost a ton of properties. I had a lot of mortgages that got collapsed, And that's when I realized that there's a better way to do this. You know, that you don't have to hold all that real estate. You know, you don't have to go to closings. I was in my head, I was like, how do I not go to closings? How do I still buy real estate? How do I do a lot of volume, make a lot of money, but never leave my couch, you know? Or my car, or the airplane, or wherever I'm at. I don't, you know, how do I do that? And I managed to figure out how to get it all on the phone, all of it. And you helped me with that.
Well, I just started that, you know.
You helped me with that.
Now, from when you first started, like, let's say the first, you know, 7 years, was it all you? Were you just balls to the wall, like blood, sweat, and tears, or was it still come easy to you?
Are you talking about in the beginning?
Yeah.
It was terrible. I mean, I had all these houses, all these renovations, refinancing loans, you know, the subprime market, everything was happening, and nobody really saw it coming, and a nightmare.
Yeah. So pretty much you would say you're definitely, if you're going to get in this venture, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight.
No.
Why not? That's what the books say.
It's not true. The part that's true is you can work it out where it's no money down and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
You got to be kind of smart. But
this segment is called Keep It 3000, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions and you just got to keep it 3000. Tell the truth, and nothing but the truth, okay? You
okay,
ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay. First question, do you fart in public?
All the time.
Next question, if you drop some food on the ground, will you eat it?
Never. Sorry, I looked at you. Never.
Next question, do you look at your boo-boo after you wipe?
What? Good answer.
Yes or no?
Definitely.
If someone talking to you, breath stinks, will you tell them?
Absolutely.
And last question, if the cashier gives you extra change after you buy something, will you give it back?
Probably, yeah.
But, so no money down.
That's all true. The part that's scammy to me that I don't like is that there's people selling that. There's people saying they'll mentor you through that for $10,000.
Yeah.
They'll sell you the secret. You can buy that secret.
Yeah.
And it isn't even a secret.
Yeah.
It's everybody should know.
Yeah.
You can buy real estate with no money down.
Yeah.
And so people get caught up in paying people to learn a secret that's not a secret, to get caught up in this loop, and then they call themselves real estate investors because they're investing in learning how to buy real estate,
but not actually.
They are never actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You know? So I prefer to partner with people, build relationships with them, and we make money together and we laugh together and have fun together and sit in orange chairs together.
Yeah, exactly. With blaring lights. But I think that's really important, because I could say when I first, like most people my age, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, of course.
Good book.
It made so much sense. But I can say meeting you kind of separated the book. You know what I'm saying? Because it actually, okay, this is what it actually is. That was like the, hey, the big glamour thing, until you pull back the wall and like, oh, crap, there's a valley.
Well, you gotta have to. I went and met Kiyosaki and had lunch with them and talked to him, and you've got to really listen to what these people are saying. They didn't just get rich. You know, he sold Velcro surf wallets and made $1 million and lost it all and ended up in a dumpster drunk. You know, and so you have to keep reinventing what you're doing. Like when the market crashed for me, I mean, 3 members of my family killed themselves, you know, and then friends killed themselves, and friends came to me with guns, like, I'm going to shoot you if you don't give me that money back. You know, it's like, it's a mortgage. You've got to process. You foreclose. You know, I'll file bankruptcy or whatever. I do what I do. You do what you do, but be professional. You know, and so.
Talk about that real quick. Going through that tumultuous time, because I didn't experience it at my age. Of course, I'm a young kid. I knew there was a recession, but you were already in the business, deep in it, making good money, making great money, and then to all fall on its head. How did you have the wherewithal not only to get through all of these things, people killing themselves and coming at you, but also think,
I'm gonna make this better and come out on top. How was that thought process?
It was terrible. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was awful. I feel bad about it, about what happened during that time to me. I mean, if you really sit back and look, it really was the banks, and it was all in the plan, and it was all part of a design to fraud citizens of the United States, you know. And they came out looking great because the country became protective of lawyers and bankers. And politicians are all lawyers and bankers, so there's nothing you can do when the country is run by lawyers and bankers. It's corrupt.
This segment is called the Big Four, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna ask you 4 questions and you're just gonna give your best answer, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
First question, what were your dreams as a kid?
I have no idea what my dreams as a kid. I wanted to fly in airplanes.
Next question, what are your dreams now?
I want to fly in airplanes.
Next question, what thing do you do now every day to get you closer to that dream?
I travel so much in a car that eventually is going to drive Patty insane, so she'll want to fly with me. So that's the one thing I learned. I mean, there's really nothing we could do except like if you and I, the biggest lesson I learned is like if you and I are investing together, we went into this as friends, and we are there to work together and protect each other. We can work it out no matter what happens. Because it's just you and me. Maybe you're lending me money, maybe I'm lending you money, maybe who knows what the arrangement is. But if there is no bank involved and there is no lender involved but us, there's no way you could fail. Because it's us. We can ride it out 10 years and come out real good. But when the bank's involved, you lose all those rights, and you know, they're predatory. They were very predatory. They came in, they swooped in, they went to the tenants in the properties and said, you know, he's not gonna be able to keep that property, don't pay your rent, you know, and so they forced people into losing their property so they could get them back. Crazy.
So it was insane.
It was nuts. You didn't know what was happening.
How long did it take you to come out on the other side that you could say, okay, I'm done with it, I got my new, you know, procedures in place and I'm rolling with this? How many years would you say after the 06-08 crash?
Maybe 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years to clear it and start making money again. Why go back to it with all that?
Love real estate, passion.
There.
Love it. I'm passionate about it. You know, you get a hobby or whatever that you fall in love with, you just can't get out of that, and that's where I'm at. So. And
you never thought about it? It was just like, I just can't get away from looking at these ugly houses.
It's the only thing that ever has compared to launching a space shuttle for me. It's that. It's exciting. You know,
So your pretty much your second love kind of deal.
Yeah, I love it.
So Scott is the motivation. I always tell him, you got pretty much everything on your phone, like you said. What's next, man? I know you're looking at commercial stuff kind of here and there, or you're just gonna keep everything how it is. What's going on in that head? You're gonna build another rocket or what?
I don't know. We're looking at some commercial buildings right now. As we travel around the United States, we see several really good opportunities that we're looking at moving into. You know, and so sky rises look good to me. Big office buildings. I don't know. Keep doing what I'm doing. It's all about opportunity. You know? Just seize the day, seize the moment. Get that property, get the deed. You know? So make friends all the way.
And like you said, just having your time, how you have your time. That's the key to it.
That's the biggest thing. And being able to do your business in your underwear is big, man. You know,
I'm gonna get there.
That is the thing, man. It's like closing properties and the wires go into your bank account and you know, the whole time you're sitting on a beach. That's good.
I'll never forget, there was that recent text that you sent me, but when you guys were took your like 3-month East Coast trip, you're like, oh, I closed this one. all in the span of like 3 days. Where you at? What's going on? We're in Maine right now. What's going on?
That was crazy.
It was like,
yeah, because we were in an RV, and so I lost signal a lot.
Yeah.
And so T-Mobile didn't cover it. They say they're everywhere, but Vermont, no. Northern New York, no. And so we were going a few days, and without any communications with anybody, I'd come out the other side, and I'm like, oh look. Yeah,
that's exactly. I was like,
oh look, man, there's money in my account. That must have closed. And so and again. It's even gotten to the point where not only do I not go to closings, I don't get involved in all the drama. Yeah. Because I realized a while ago that it's just like a Shakespeare play. You're going into it, everything's falling apart, but it comes out pretty at the end. Yeah. Everybody claps and stuff. It's gonna work out, and it's gonna work or it's not gonna work, but there's nothing. If you have 3 or 4 of those deals lined up, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work.
Exactly. Exactly. You got that.
Take that stress off.
Perfect. So before we close everything, what advice would you give, not just someone in real estate, but just an entrepreneur that is seeking kind of that lifestyle that you have? Hey, I'm gonna operate off of my phone. I'm gonna utilize my time how I want to use my time. What advice would you give to someone my age, or even someone your age that's finally through with what they're going through? What advice would you give them to say, do this and boom?
I don't know. I'd probably say outsource everything. We're even trying now to find a way to not go grocery shopping. So that food's delivered to our house. I mean, if you can put a value on your time that's way above what you could imagine it being worth, treat your time like that.
Gotcha.
And then whatever you need to do to make more time. It's not all about money. It's more about time.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Do protect your time.
Perfect.
Protect your relationships, your friendships.
Gems. Scott has so much more, and one interview is not enough. We're probably gonna do like a 12-part series because how your life is. But before we get into that, you want to drop any of your Instagrams, your websites, and let people,
Spot 77.
Spot 77.
Hashtag it. Spot 77 in Google. Easy to find.
Find them anywhere. Real estate.
Wherever I'm at.
Wherever he's at, you'll see. Yeah. But I appreciate it, my friend, for coming on finally. You're gonna come back whenever you come back to Orlando.
You're coming to see me too.
We're gonna do some more.
Yeah.
All right.
You're gonna come out in your plane, right?
Yeah. We're working on that. We're working on the private jet. So stay tuned to that. All right, people.
Good.
Man, I just love it, man. I love it. Another quality interview. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna have Scott's information in the description below. You guys make sure to reach out. You have any questions or want to know anything else from Scott, go ahead and reach out, man. Also hit that subscribe button if you rocking with the channel, you rocking with the interviews. I appreciate the love. Drop comments in the comment section below of what you guys thought about the interview, what you guys didn't know, and anything like that. Please, I love the feedback. I love it. It fills me up. It makes me feel great. The channel loves it. The people love it. So everybody continue to drop those comments. Also, if you guys know anybody that's a mover and shaker, a go-getter, someone who takes action, drop that in the comment section below or reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. I would love to sit down and bring them to the channel and bring them to you all. Okay, people? But Merry Christmas, first and foremost. And you guys continue to dominate. You know that's essential. Dent the universe, people, okay? Have a great day, week, month, and tune into Reality TV, people. Y'all know that's the only place y'all need to be, okay? Peace.